What's going on, guys? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another Major League Baseball update video. Today we have a ton of news to talk about, so don't go anywhere. If you guys are brand new to the channel, I'm going to ask you guys for a favor. We are getting so close to 60,000 subscribers, so it would mean the absolute world to me if you could hit that subscribe button, because if we could get there by tonight, there might be something special coming your guys' way, so just hit that little red button right here. And also, if you guys enjoyed today's video, make sure you slap a like on this one because I would appreciate it so much. And without further ado, let's talk about some baseball, because we're a month away from spring training, so let's get it going. Let's get the hype up. So yes, as you guys saw by the title, there was a big time free agent. I would say big time in quotations, because a few years ago he was really good and then he kind of tailed off, but he's still pretty good. We'll talk about him in just a second because there were a few other signings that we need to discuss. Breaking news, as I was recording this video, the Chicago Cubs are at it again. So Chris Bryant a couple weeks ago said that they do not need to sign Bryce Harper. They are content with their currently constructed team, but they're adding to it. They just signed Brad Brach to a deal. I'm not sure how many years because that hasn't been reported just yet, but Ken Rosenthal is coming out with some heat today. Yesterday it was Drew Pomeranz, now it's Brad Brach. Again, there's a third guy. We'll talk about him in just a second, but the Chicago Cubs, they're trying to bolster their bullpen. A lot of people forget that the Cubs have a pretty good roster, but injuries really wreaked havoc on their players last year. Yu Darvish went down. They have Brandon Morrow. If you guys don't remember, Brandon Morrow was insanely good back in 2017 with the Dodgers, so when he comes back healthy, he's pretty much going to be their Wade Davis that they used to have. I personally really like Brad Brach. Now, I might just be biased because I think he's really good as a silver card in MLB The Show, but in real life, let's look at his stats real quick because there's one other signing before we talk about AJ Pollock. As you guys can see with the stats in front of you, Brad Brach has been pretty much elite since 2013. That year, he had a 3.19 ERA, followed up in 2014 by a 3.18. 2015, he had a 2.72 ERA. 2016, his lone all-star season, he was 10-4 with a 2.05 ERA. Last year in 2018 was an anomaly where he had a 3.59 ERA. The best part about that 3.59 ERA is in the first half with the Orioles, he had a 4.85. Then he was sent off to the Atlanta Braves where he had a 1.52 ERA. So we know that Brad Brach is one of the best relief pitchers in the game when he's on it. So what do you guys make of this signing? If you're a Cubs fan, are you happy with it? Do you wish you would have signed someone else? If you're a Giants fan, what do you think of the next player that we're about to talk about? The San Francisco Giants have made a few weird, I would say puzzling offseason moves. They've kind of not really done anything, but at the same time done some stuff. And just a few days ago, they were able to sign Drew Pomeranz to a one-year, $1.5 million deal. But in my opinion, I don't think I was going to make a full video on Mr. Drew piece, so yeah, I'm going to tell you guys about that right now. In 2018, Drew Pomeranz was not, actually, I'm going to just say he was pretty bad with the Red Sox. He had a 6.08 ERA. I believe his win-loss record was 2-6, but the one caveat to Drew Pomeranz is if we look at his stats before 2018, he's actually been pretty decent. In 2014, he had a 2.35 ERA. The next year, he had a 3.66. In 2016, he made the All-Star team with a 3.32 ERA, and his first year in Boston, he went 17-6 with a 3.32 ERA. So we know that Drew Pomeranz can get it done, but the fact is he had a bad 2018. So going forward this year in 2019, is he going to revert back to what he was before, or is he going to continue on in his downward trend and just get the yips, I would say, because a 6.80 or 6.08, that's regardless, it's really bad. Not going to say he has the yips, but the dude could not throw a strike to save his life. So we talked about two small signings. First, it was Brad Brach to the Chicago Cubs. Then we saw Drew Pomeranz go over to the San Francisco Giants. Now it's time for the meat and potatoes of today's video. AJ Pollock just signed a 4-year, 50 to 55. I've seen two of those numbers kind of thrown out there. It's either 50 or $55 million, and he signs with the Los Angeles Dodgers. The reason why it took a little bit for AJ Pollock to sign is because he wanted to try and get as much money as possible. There were so many rumors flying around about if the Dodgers signed Pollock, then they'd have to trade player A or player B, and then it was a mess. But finally, AJ Pollock has found a home. So we're going to talk about what this means in just a second, but let's go over his stats real quick, because honestly, a couple years ago, you were drafting AJ Pollock in the first round of every fantasy draft. So like I was saying, before he was injured, AJ Pollock was one of the best up-and-coming players in Major League Baseball. I'm going to read off his stats right now. His best year coming in 2015 when he was 14th in the MVP race. He also made the All-Star team and won a Gold Glove. In 157 games, AJ Pollock had 111 runs, 192 base hits, 39 doubles, 6 triples, 20 home runs, 76 RBIs, 39 stolen bases, and he had a .315 batting average. Now, here's where the downside of AJ Pollock comes into play. My guy is injured every single season, it seems like, whether it's a broken elbow or a strained groin or a broken thumb. The guy just cannot seem to stay healthy. As we can see, the following year after his breakout season in 2016, he only played in 12 games. In 2017, he played in 112 games. In 2018, just last year, he had a pretty good season. He had 21 home runs, 65 RBIs, 13 stolen bases, a .257 batting average, but again, he missed about 50 games, only playing in 113. So the one downside to AJ Pollock is, yes, his upside is through the roof, but he's going to get injured and might not even play a full season. That's the risk you take. So we've talked about AJ Pollock and the fact that his ceiling is pretty high. I think that this is a low risk, high reward signing. Now, $50 million for 4 years, that's quite a lot. So what we're gonna do now is, because we've already talked about his stats, we're gonna discuss what this might mean for the Dodgers going forward, because I've heard a ton of rumors the last week. But before I do that, you guys know it's time to drink some H2O, because that's what you guys need to do to stay healthy. Drink water. I want you guys to drink a cup of water before this video ends. I challenge you guys, do it right now. I was scrolling through Twitter a couple days ago and I saw a report come out saying that the Dodgers, they were very much interested in AJ Pollock. So that reporter was right on the money. They eventually did sign him, but there was one little asterisk to that report. They were saying that they would only sign AJ Pollock if they were going to trade Joc Pederson. So if Joc Pederson is on the trading block now, the perfect trade, honestly, is going to be to the Miami Marlins, because the Marlins, they were trying to get Nick Markakis more than pretty much anyone else in the league, but then he re-signed with the Braves. Because what do the Marlins need? They need a left-handed outfielder bat. What do the Dodgers need? They need a catcher. Who has been in trade talks pretty much the entire offseason? The Dodgers and the Marlins, because the Marlins, they need an outfielder. The Dodgers, they need a catcher. So if you get Joc Pederson and a few prospects in exchange for JT Realmuto, aren't you getting a win-win trade for both sides? Let me know in the comment section down below. What do you guys make of that? JT Realmuto in exchange for Joc Pederson and some change. Do you think that's going to happen? In my opinion, I feel like it's pretty much booked already. That's just my opinion though. So now if they don't get JT Realmuto, pretty much what has happened with the Dodgers is they traded Matt Kemp, Yasiel Puig, and Alex Wood in exchange for Homer Bailey. They immediately released Homer Bailey because they just wanted to get some salary cap. And then they don't sign Bryce Harper, which I thought was going to happen because they traded away their best outfielders. They have a ton of money. It's been known that Bryce Harper and Magic Johnson are good friends. So it was pretty much confirmed he was going to the Dodgers. But now it's not confirmed. I don't know where Bryce Harper's going to go because it's almost February and there's still no insight as to where he might sign. So pretty much the Dodgers traded Matt Kemp, Yasiel Puig, and Alex Wood in exchange for AJ Pollock. So, okay. So speaking of Bryce Harper and his fellow free agent partner in crime that just refuses to sign, I'm not a rapper. Did that rhyme? I think it did. But what we are going to do is we are going to kick it to our reporter who is live with some brand new Bryce Harper and Manny Machado updates. Take it away, man. As you guys saw, that was that was a live report at the Bryce Harper and Manny Machado sweepstakes. Yeah. Can you guys sign already, please? Amen. Now, there was one article that came out from Ken Rosenthal. Every time that Ken Rosenthal speaks, I just like to listen because he is such a good reporter. You can tell that he is passionate about baseball and pretty much baseball only. That's his one true love in life. But he came out with an article pretty much saying that the best fit right now for Bryce Harper is the New York Mets. And the more that I read that article, the more I kind of put it into perspective. If the Mets could get their hands on Bryce Harper after the offseason that they've had, yo, watch out for the Mets. So the final story up today, it's kind of a feel-good slash, I'm not sure what this is going to mean going forward, is we see that Ichiro, one of the best leadoff hitters, one of the best contact hitters that this game of baseball has ever seen, he just signed a minor league deal with the Seattle Mariners, and he's actually going to be playing with the team on their first couple games. I don't know if it's spring training or exhibition games out in Japan, but my thing is, if he rakes in that series, like let's say he goes 7 for 13 with the home run and a couple triples, is Ichiro going to think that, he still has some left in the tank? Because at 43 or 44 years old last year in 2018, my man hit 205. So in my opinion, I don't think that this is a comeback. I just think that this is a really good feel-good story and a nice little send-off for Ichiro, playing in front of his home crowd on his home team pretty much, because when he went to the Marlins and the Yankees, it just didn't feel right. But now that he's back with the Mariners playing in Japan, I think that is the perfect send-off. So Ichiro, I need to tip my cap off to you, Mr. Ichiro Suzuki, one of the best players to ever do it. And I just, the game of baseball is going to miss Ichiro, as well as Joe Mauer, Ryan Howard, Chase Utley, David Wright, all the other stars that retired in 2018. Man, 2019 is going to be It's gonna be weird. So if you guys enjoyed, make sure you slap a like on this video. Again, we're getting so close to 60K subs. So if you enjoyed anything throughout this video, make sure that you hit that subscribe button because we have so much more content coming. And I want to say thank you. Thank you guys for all the support that you show me. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Please. Bryce Harper, Manny Machado. All I want for Christmas in 2019 is for you to sign soon. Thank you.